Hi, it's Tricia from Nature Lover Canada, and today we're hiking a trail at Driftwood Provincial Park. It's a 2.3 kilometer trail called the Beaver Meadow Trail. Obviously it's going to go around a beaver meadow or a beaver pond, and we're going to see what we can see. We're going to take you along on this hike as we're exploring it ourselves for the very first time. We hope you enjoyed it. It's a gorgeous day today, and we're looking forward to spending time on the trail. So we've been at Driftwood several days now. I believe we're on day 12 of our trip. It's a small park. There's about 80 actual sites. There are some electric sites up in the forest, and then non-electric sites down by the Ottawa River. We are on one of the non-electric sites. We are something like day 9 without electricity. Thankfully, we have a 320 watt solar panel and a Achray 500 system to try to keep our batteries charged. I just spotted some gorgeous Indian pipe growing what appears to be out of a rock. That's different. So obviously there's soil there. It gets its energy from the soil, unlike plants that get their energy from the sun. So that's really interesting. So this is the second trail that we're videotaping. We didn't videotape the red trail, and we couldn't get on to the green trail because the bridge was out. Hi, Chloe.
She's had a scare.
Uh-oh.
She heard a plane. She thought it was thunder.
But it wasn't.
We've been practicing calming her down
Hi,
for the last
sweetheart.
5 minutes now.
What a good girl you are. Hi, baby.
She's not happy. Let's go the other way. Let's go the other way. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Come on. Let's go this way. Come on, let's go. Yay! Here we go. Let's go. Oh, I'm going to have to sprint this trail. No.
She's not going to enjoy the next few days then at Achray, because they are actually talking about thunderstorms.
This way.
Oh no.
This way. Yay! Off we go, off we go.
Check out what was underneath this tree when it fell over. It was just sitting in this very, very thin layer of dirt. And its roots would have gone off in every direction. And it's a fairly large tree, so it did really, really well for a long time. It may have been blown over in the wind, or it may have died and just finally fallen over. So this trail joins up for part of the time, or the end I guess, with the other trail, the Riverview Trail, which is also very beautiful. And there is a video for that hike. Not sure if this is caribou lichen or not, but it's really cool. It's very hard. It's almost like what you would consider to be a sponge. Like you think you'd be able to wash your pots with it. It's not as soft as moss. Here's a whole patch. And it's growing on rock. So I guess you'd kind of consider this to be an alvar, an open area of rock with particular types of plant life growing on it. So I'm seeing like some different types of moss and lichen, a few pieces of grass, a few little shrubs that are starting to grow in some of the areas, pine needles. So all of this is going to break down and create soil. And when it creates soil, that's when other plants can then start growing on it. And that's why some of the soil, or some of the places rather, you can't see the rock anymore because there's been this continual process of plant material breaking down and basically creating soil. So that process of lichen growing, then usually moss, and then some other plant life, and each thing dies off. It creates soil. The soil allows another plant life that requires more soil and therefore more moisture to grow in it, and then that dies off, and that creates more soil until next thing you know, you can't even see that huge rock. I don't know if people walked on this and did this, or if something else did it. This is a kind of moss, and it's very wet. Like if I press down on this, I don't know if you can see right there. So if I press down on this, my fingers are actually moist from the water it's holding. So it's got like a funnel. It's like a funnel. Cool, eh? Did you hear that really high-pitched shrill sound? Is that the same bird? Or is that a different bird? Somewhere up in the canopy. Anybody know what that bird is? Because I don't. There's two birds. That one. So generally by this time, we will have been camping several weekends already. By the time we go on our large or our multiple week trips. Forgive me for having to watch where I'm walking. But we didn't get out at all, even for one trip prior to this one because of COVID. We booked our 28 days 5 months in advance. And then literally 2 weeks later, because we finished booking them at the beginning of March, and then 2 weeks later, everything shut down. Now we were still allowed to make reservations, but the campgrounds and the parks were closed. So they were just canceling them as the time came. So we decided, well, we don't really want to book something. We didn't want to book something and have to cancel. And we didn't really know if we wanted to be out camping. So we didn't book anything. So this is literally our first trip of the season, and it's a big one, and that's kind of awkward because usually the other trips, it gets us back into camping habits. It allows us to check the trailer and the truck and our supplies to see if there's anything major missing or if there's any major issues. So we didn't get to do any of that, and hence 6 Mile Lake we had to change the faucet in the sink because it had gotten damaged and cracked sometime either during the winter or during the trip up. And then we didn't realize that until we went on to non-electric, that our battery was not holding a charge. Now normally if we have electricity, that's no big deal. The converter just keeps charging it, and as long as it has the right voltage going through, the fridge starts and the lights work and everything like that. But as soon as we got to Kiosk and had no electricity, we realized this battery isn't holding a charge. We can't get it charged enough during the day to last the night, and we kept having to turn off our fridge. Now we have a propane fridge, but it actually uses electricity to open and close the propane valve. And then there's a propane monitor in the trailer, and if you're running the furnace, it also uses some electricity. How do we know that? Well, we looked up about the fridge, and it turns out that a lot of people complain about this fridge using too much electricity and making it very difficult to boondock. The furnace we know because when we lost power the other night, when it was 10 degrees, the furnace went off. So that's sometimes how you learn things. Normally we would have worked out these kinks ahead of time, but we didn't. So here we are. We're still day 12, trying to get into the hang of things, and we just had to have the muffler fixed because one of the hangers had broken, probably from this massively bumpy roads that we've been going on. So camping is, you know, it's work. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you have to do your laundry, which there's no laundry facilities at provincial parks right now, so we're hand washing our laundry, so that takes time and energy and timing, because you don't want to be trying to do your laundry when it's pouring rain out. All of these things, you know, some people say, why you do that? Won't just go and stay in a 5-star hotel? Well, one, we can't afford it, and two, for us, that's not really something that we want to do. Everybody has to decide what price they want to pay. That price might be money, it might be time, it might be effort, it might be knowledge. What kinds of things do you want to do, and how do you want to pay for it? So this is how we pay for it. Let's get back to this trail. Did I lose my trail? Nope. So there's the arrow if I was going the other way, so the trail should be here. Sometimes on the rock, because it doesn't leave trails, it makes it a little bit more difficult to follow a trail. I'm not sure the view that we're going to get from here, from this trail, but if you're looking for the views, you have to walk the Riverview Trail, which makes sense. If you want to see the views from that trail, check out the video featuring the Riverview Trail from Driftwood Provincial Park. Easy peasy. They're very curious, chipmunks and red squirrels. This is a pretty little plant. Not sure if this is sweet woodruff, or I think it's sweet woodruff. Beautiful little shade forest plant. Look at that shadow. Lovely. Some more coral fungi. It's not the bright yellow version, but still cool. So what you're seeing there is Driftwood Bay and the Ottawa River. Where one starts and the other one begins, don't even ask me. And across the way is the province of Quebec. To see where we are right now. There's supposed to be a view here, but we saw that there wasn't a view. So we're gonna come up here, a view here, but there wasn't a view because the trees have grown up. So we've come up here, and we're now at 3. So we're going to join up soon to the river view loop and then head back. Here's where the yellow river view loop joins up with the Beaver metal loop. The river view loop, if you're at Driftwood, is really beautiful. It has a lot of views, a lot of different places that you could stop and take pictures or watch the sunrise, watch the sunset, have a picnic. It's a fantastic one, and it's only 1 kilometer long, so it's not flat, but it's not very difficult. If you're at Driftwood, don't miss out on that one. Doing a trail twice is kind of interesting because you can look for different things and you can focus on different things. Like you can see the berries underneath. That's the fruit of the plant. And of course the fruit of a plant starts off as a flower. So the flowers would have been under the plant. So that's quite beautiful. See the flat sections of those rocks that would have broken off. Probably there were some small fractures in the rock. Water got in there, and when winter came and it froze, it cracked the rock into a very nice flat piece. That's some you know, natural power right there, because that's granite and that's an extremely hard rock. Chipmunks are definitely out in full force this afternoon. The other thing about trails, I guess if you watch this video and the Riverview Trail, if I remember correctly, I think we hiked that one in the evening. Yeah, we hiked it in the evening because I was talking about dinner. And now I'm hiking this trail in the middle of the afternoon. So the light is completely different, which really does affect how a forest looks. It actually affects how most things look. The trail kind of looks like it goes that way, but it kind of looks like it goes that way. And I don't see any of the tags, so I guess we'll start one way. Okay, well, I didn't see this the last time, so there you go. There's something that you didn't get to see the last time. So here we are at the edge of the beaver pond. So here is where they dammed this side. That is a bunch of logs and sticks and mud. They actually make really good bridges. When you're going through the outback, you can usually, or not, you know, backpacking and stuff, if you need to cross somewhere like a beaver pond, you can usually use the dam because, especially if it's still intact. The other thing about beaver ponds that I've noticed is there is almost always spotted jewelweed. It's a neat little plant. Look at that, spotted jewelweed. And all along the beaver dam, on top of it, so you know that it's not being used anymore, because if it was, the beavers would have this cleaned up. And I can hear running water. So you know there aren't beavers here right now because they would fix that. It's very beautiful here though. Well, I'm glad we found that little spot, because if we hadn't, wouldn't have seen this. So what you're going to find in this area is there is a lot of different kinds of birds. I'm seeing a few birds around the water's edge. There's going to become lots of different kinds of aquatic plants. Deer will come down here to drink, and lots of other animals, both aquatic and just regular insects and animals, are going to thrive in this area because this was created by a beaver. Come back in another 10, 20, 30 years and this will no longer be water. This will be either a meadow or a young forest. Unless the beavers come back. And if they come back, they'll repair what they had done and keep the water there again. And I'm sure you can hear the water running. That is actually trickling down from the beaver pond. So if there were beavers in that pond, there would be no water coming off of it. They would have dammed that all up. So that's pretty much the end of the trail. I hope you enjoyed it. That was the 2.3 kilometer Beaver Meadow or Beaver Pond. I'm going to call it the Beaver Pond Trail since it wasn't a meadow, at Driftwood Provincial Park. Got some great views of the Beaver's Pond from the, what side is that? East side? I'm trying to think of what direction we're in right now. Anyway, wonderful walk, beautiful ferns and mushrooms, and of course always great to see parts of the Canadian Shield. Beaver ponds are very fascinating, so take your time, check it out, maybe learn a little bit about it ahead of time so you can check to see, is there an active beaver there? Do I hear running water? Are the food piles or the beaver lodges covered with grass, or are they free of grass? That will help you look for the telltale sign of beavers being in the area by looking for trees having been chewed down, which I didn't see any. Chitcher might have spotted some, but I didn't spot any. So anyway, fascinating trail. Also, don't forget to check out the hike that we took on the Riverview Trail. That's also a beautiful, beautiful trail. And if you are at Driftwood, hike that several times, different times during the day, because I bet you it's gorgeous. And very different, because every time we look out at the water, it looks different. The lights are different, the clouds are different, there's fog coming in, there's a storm coming in, the light is different, there's waves, there's not waves. It just keeps changing. So just because you've seen it, don't think that it's not going to change the next time you look at it. So again, I'm Tricia from Nature Lover Canada. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. We have new videos every Thursday, and we're heading next to Achray, which is a canoe access point and campground for the east side of Algonquin Park. First time we've been there, so that should be really interesting. They are calling for an awful lot of thunderstorms, so that's going to make it challenging. We'll see what we can do, and hopefully we have a bunch of videos from there as well. As you can see, I am sweating. It's a hot one, so I'm going to go get some water. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Hope you're finding ways of getting outside. Let me know in the comments below, what have you been doing? And we will see you next time out there on the trail. So this is keep going. Up, up, up. Up, up, up.
Over.
You can't just stay here. Hey, swimming upstream. Be all comfy and cute like that.